man, I can't give Jim Harbaugh and his guys because I think the thing is the tough part on the front end of the first 15 plays of that offense is the first 15 plays of that offense looked amazing. That looked like the best offense in the country.
Yes.
And then after that, when it was just off the cuff, and I think you responded to me via text. I text you like the first, within the first couple plays, I'm like, your offense came to play. These guys look ready, and they didn't continue that, right? So they had a lull in the middle of the game, but crunch time when you needed it, man, those guys came through. And I'm just listen for someone who has been very critical of Jim Harbaugh again and again, because to me, I'm like, you had plenty of opportunities. For someone who has been extremely critical of him, I'm giving him all the praise, man. You had your guy number one. The very first thing I look at is you had your guys ready to play. They were ready to play. Michigan was ready to go from the word jump. They were ready to go, and that's coaching. Like that is coaching. So I want to make sure that I give him all of the credit, because had he lost this game, I would have been the same one here crushing him. That's a literally A+ job. He did a phenomenal job, and I think not only him doing a great job of coaching, but also doing a great job of getting your leaders ready to go, because that's just as important as well. Like making sure, because when you're a team captain, and when you're one of those guys that, you know what I mean, like Hassan Haskins, Aiden Hutchinson, you have a closer connection with the head coach. Like you have different meetings with the head coach that just a normal guy who's just starting doesn't have. So for him to have those guys ready to go, and for those guys to be just driven, ready to go, and literally from the jump, like that's incredible, man. That is incredible.
Yeah, I mean the energy was there from the get go, and it was sustained throughout the game, no matter what happened, and that's very very tough to do to emotionally. Um, gosh, I'm so spent to emotionally keep at their level. We can hear the party in the background, to
Yes,
emotionally.
people are very excited at the.
As they
I
should
went
be.
to one of my friends'
Everybody
places,
should be
and
partying.
and
This
he's a
is
Michigan fan, but it's unreal. It's
Yeah, I
unreal.
mean, everybody should, because you know what, the rivalry has been so lopsided in terms of the final result, and to finally break through, it's special. It's special, and to have year after year, heartbreak after heartbreak, some close games, some not, and for this team, this is just not, and to win the way that they did win, right? To physically, I thought, be the most dominant team all day. That really speaks to just how great it was, right? Not only did we win the game, but we were the most mentally tough team. We made the less penalties. Ohio State made more penalties than we did today, and we kept our emotions for the most part. And we were physically the better team today. And who knows? You can look at on paper. You can maybe 9 times out of 10 you say Ohio State's a better team. Whatever, that's your business. But today, Michigan, in all facets of the game, was the better team. Cade played a tremendous game. He made some beautiful throws all day. He made one interception. Bad decision. He kind of stared down Wilson in the red zone. But I love the aggression. And what I was concerned was that after that interception that he would get a little gun shy. And so would Gaddis potentially with certain passing plays, but they didn't. They kept the ball in K's hands. They even did something that made us both nervous. They played JJ many times today, and JJ made plays today. And so I have to tip my hat to that. Running the football and passing the football at times. So it was just a beautiful orchestrated game defensively. Mike McDonald did what we all thought he had to do, which was essentially play two high safeties and prevent as much as possible the explosive play down the field. And we knew Ohio State was going to move the ball, and they were going to score touchdowns at times, but it was to make them work for it and to do it with as less time as possible, with as much time used as possible. And it was just it was a beautiful job by the coaching staff, by the players executing. You really feel for us. And Harbaugh's had a lot of critics, including myself. And you feel good for him, man. You feel good for him. You feel good for kids like Aiden Hutchinson, Hassan Haskins, kids who've been in this program 4 or 5 years. Especially a kid like Aiden who could have left, probably got drafted in the first 2 rounds last year, and he came back. And he said it many times throughout the year. He came back because he didn't want to leave without beating Ohio State, right? He wanted to make his mark on history. And boy, did he do it today. Not only by beating Ohio State, but being outside of Hassan Haskins, who had 5 touchdowns. I mean, incredible. But outside of Hassan Haskins having 3 sacks in this game, even the plays that he didn't reach home in terms of a sack, the pressures, unquestioned. If Hassan Haskins is the motor of his team, then Hutchinson is the heart. And he embodied that today through his example on the field and off the field. You just feel good for those type of kids, man. You feel good for them. This was their year. This was their year to get it done. There's still more on the table for them, and it for the first time we can talk about that. I mean, we're going to talk about next. There will be a show next week, and on Wednesday, and we get to talk about the Big Ten title, and rather who they will be playing. Michigan will be playing 2 teams that, let's be honest, that they are very capable of beating. It would not be easy, and by all means, they should not go into that game next week, with big heads. But, we're very capable of beating Minnesota, very capable of beating Wisconsin, no matter which one of those teams wins today. And, this team is looking at a very strong chance now of making it to the CFP, the college football playoff. My goodness. And, and to be quite honest, with a game like today, all things are on the table. There were people who thought Ohio State wasn't just a college football playoff contender, but a national title contender to win it, right? So to be honest, guys, it's okay to dream today. And I don't think we're selling smoke. I think it's okay. Me and Dez have been in lockstep with this. There's no juggernaut in college football this year. Georgia is very, very, very good. Don't get me wrong. But they're not perfect, right? So it's okay to dream today. They deserve it. And yeah, man, this is what you dream of, and it's here.